Hi guys, I'm back with another podcast for Summer Cup Day to be run this Saturday at Turffontein Racecourse. I'll be covering races 2 to race 9. Let's get right into it. Starting with race 2, my first choice is Bartholdi, number 9 on the card, the active war gelding. He debuted in a very strong maiden behind Paisley Park. He ran third, 3.5 lengths off the winner. There have been 2 direct winners from the form line. The second horse in that race was Sevarescent, that came out to win very impressively. And I think with natural improvement, he is the horse to beat. For the placings, Battle Force ran a short head behind Bartholdi last time out. He's got to be competitive, but I do believe that Bartholdi has more to come. Godswood's another horse to consider, and Never Too Clever can improve on his debut performance. Race 3 on the card. This is my first value bet on the card. Number 9, Nachi. He debuted on the inner track over 1,450 meters. He was 6 lengths behind Castle Corner on that occasion. But being out of a Galileo mare, the 1,600 meters on the stand-side course is going to suit him down to the ground. And I watched that debut performance. I went onto teletrack.com. And he actually caught my eye the final 200 meters, Nachi. He quickened up smartly late, and I think the course just caught him out. I believe that the mile stand-side track is going to be right down his alley, and I believe with natural improvement, Nachi is going to be the horse to beat at about 9-2. Then my second choice in the race is Castle Corner. He has been costly to follow, but he's run 4 seconds in a row. He will be competitive, and is my second choice. For third, Chariot Master. He debuted in 1160. He stepped up to a mile, but it wasn't the strongest of maiden fields that day, but with natural improvement can run into the money. But my value bet on the card, my first value bet being Nachi in race 3 at around 9-2. Race 4 on the card, my second value bet on the card, and quite a strong first selection, is number 2, Gallic Princess. This filly has turned the corner since joining the Candace Dawson stable, winning 2 from 3 starts with Candace Dawson. She was an average handicapper last season. Until joining this stable, she's really turned the corner. She beat Rio Quirari in her penultimate start. If you saw what Rio Quirari came to do last week in the Merchants, he ran a place behind Eric the Red. And Gallic Princess ran past Rio Quirari like he was standing still. She really won with authority. Her comeback run over 1,000 meters in the Golden Loom Stakes, she ran a cracker. She was off the pace. She was outpaced in the early part of the race, and she stayed on strongly late, 2 lengths off Bold Ransom that day. She has got one danger to beat in the race, which will be Ecstatic Green, number 13 on the card. She is a 3-year-old. She receives 8.5 kilos from Gallic Princess, and she is a massive runner. She didn't stay the 1,400 meter trip last time. She was found wanting the last 200 meters, but back to the 1160, she is the biggest threat to my value bet, Gallic Princess. I am having a decent bet on Gallic Princess. I believe she will be a very hard horse to beat, and this is my strike for the day, besides my best bet coming a bit later on in the card. Race 5 on the card, the Merchants. Very competitive lineup, quite a few horses with chances. I'll start with Eden Rock. He's really come back to his best, this horse, with 2 cracking wins in his last 2 starts. He won a good race last time out, beating Chimichurri Run. He quickened up late and won going away, and he could be my narrow first selection. If you go on last season's performance, when he beat Nvidia half a length in the post-Merchants, Nvidia was at level weight that day. Now he receives 4.5 kilos. So that brings Nvidia right into the race with a chance. Ultra Magnus, another horse. Peter Muscat bringing him up from Durban. He should be competitive. Bohica, still well handicapped since back to the sprint. He's done really well with 3 straight wins in a row. And another horse to consider, at big value, don't exclude him in any bets. Zouaves, number 6. Gavin Larena for Grant Maroon. Zouaves was unlucky loser last time in the Pinnacle beyond Frosted Gold. It's been a long time since Zouaves run over this sort of trip. But I looked at his record. He's had 4 starts over course and distance for a win, a second, and a fourth. And he's got the class on his side, Zouaves, at 16-1. Others to consider and to include into the pick 6, Down to Zero, Bold Ransom, and Give Me a Wave. Don't exclude Mr. Flood, but he is better suited to the ball. Race 6 on the card, and the obvious banker for the day, Mount Pleasant. I backed him in the nursery 2 runs back. He was a little bit outpaced throughout the race, and he got going late to win going away in style. He stepped up to win a decent race last time against older males. He put them to sleep at the 200-meter mark, and he went on by to win a good race. The miles should be no problem for him. From a 1 draw, Mount Pleasant is the banker of the day at restrictive odds of around 3 or 4 to 10. For the placings, Al-Mutana, I feel that Al-Mutana can improve on his last run. He was badly drawn. He tucked into the back of the field, and he ran on him late to run about 6 lengths off Malmoose that day. I think Al-Mutana's got more to offer, and if you are playing to beat the favorite in the pick 6, include Al-Mutana at about 16-1. Race 7 on the card, the Summer Cup. I'm going to first touch on the favorite and the People's Horse, Summer Pudding. She's won 8 from 8 against fillies, mostly at level weights. If you look at her starts last season, she won the Triple Tiara. She beat Marigold by a length, Pomander by a length, Driving Miss Daisy by a length, and Ria's Winter by about a head or a neck. That was at level weights with 3-year-old fillies. If you put Marigold, Pomander, or Driving Miss Daisy into the Summer Cup with 59 kilos, they would run closer to last than first. Summer Pudding, 59 kilos, giving the colts weight, second run after a rest with an 18 draw, it's going to be tough. If she pulls this off and wins the Summer Cup, I would class her in the same category or same class as Empress Club, probably the greatest race filly that I ever witnessed on a racetrack. So Summer Pudding's got it all to do. My first choice will be Pack Leader. If you look last season, he ran about 6 lengths off One World in the Met, 4 lengths off Vardy at level weights. Pack Leader very well handicapped. He's found his best form again since relocating to Alec Ledd's stable. And Samanga Kamalo, 54 kilos from a 4 draw. I think Pack Leader is the horse to beat. My second choice is going to be Charles. He's had 2 runs after a lengthy layoff. Since joining the Mike de Cox stable, he's really come well. His last start, he ran impressively. He ran a good second behind Hoodoo Magic. Third run after a rest, handy galloping weight of 55 kilos. I think Charles is going to be right there at the finish, and I'll be including him into all bets. My quartet for the main race, that's what we want to catch. It's going to be a massive pull. If we can run Summer Pudding out of the quartet, I'll be floating bankers, Charles and Pack Leader, 11 and 14 floating with the field. It'll cost you around 345 Rand for 10%, and it can pay handsomely. For the placings, You Can't Hurry Love, number 10 on the card. He wore the blinkers for the first time in his last start. He ran a great race behind Hoodoo Magic, only beaten a nose by Charles on that occasion, and I think You Can't Hurry Love can be competitive. Another horse to consider, Tree Tumbo, Cornish Pomodoro, and Dance Class. If you look at number 17, Victoria Page, I just want to mention her because she did run against Summer Pudding on a couple of occasions. Over 2,000 meters in the Willavington, she got beat 2.5 lengths by Summer Pudding at level weights. On this occasion, she receives 7 kilos from Summer Pudding. So on that, Victoria Page has Summer Pudding stone cold at the weights. I'm not saying Summer Pudding won't win. If she does, she's a freak horse, but she's got everything against her, and I'm looking elsewhere in the Summer Cup. Then on to race 8 on the card. My best bet on the card, very strong first selection, is War of Athena, number 9 on the card. 51 kilos from a 1 draw, back over the mile, her best trip. If you see previously, she only ran once over a mile. From a wide draw, she got beat a neck by Anything Goes. That was a cracking effort. She was closing the gap, the margin late, and she only went down a neck that day. With 51 kilos, I think a massive runner and the horse to beat. This is my strike for the day, War of Athena. Her main danger and her market rival is Queen Supreme. Done nothing wrong. Over course and distance, she ran second, a length and a half off her WAM, and that was a cracking run. But her last start behind Ronnie's Candy, we all expected her to be a penalty kick, and she fluffed her lines. It is her first run back after a layoff. She runs well fresh, and Queen Supreme will be the main threat to War of Athena. Race 9 on the card, another value bet of mine over the marathon trip of 3,200 meters is African Adventure. This horse really catches my eye over shorter trips. Last time out over the 2,400 meter trip, he stayed on strongly late. He was closing the margin late. Within a couple of strides after the line, he was in front. And I believe over the 3,200 meter trip, an extra 800 meters than he's been previously, I think African Adventure is going to be mowing them down late with 53 kilos from a good draw. His main rival, a horse like Shenanigans, he's tumbled in the merit ratings. If you look at his run in the Gold Vase, he gave a couple of these horses weight, or he was at level weights with a couple of these horses. He ran 2 lengths behind Dynasty's Blossom. That was a cracking effort. I think let's just go through a couple of the horses that ran in that race with him. Dark Moon Rising was almost at level weights, ran a length ahead of him, and a horse like Factor 50 ran alongside him at just about the same weights. Now Factor 50's got to give him 8.5 kilos. So Shenanigans at the weight has got to be competitive here. Another horse to consider is Odd Rob with a handy galloping weight of 53 kilos. Those are my first 3 selections. I believe African Adventure will take a lot of beating. Shenanigans, best handicapped in the race, and Odd Rob with only 53 kilos will be competitive. I am favoring the bottom weights in the Racing Association handicap race 9 on the card. My place multiple for the day. Race 3 Nachi to place. Race 4 Gallic Princess place. Race 7 Charles place. Race 8 War of Athena place. And race 9 African Adventure place. Works out about 15 to 1 the fixed odds place multiple. Then my best bet on the card, War of Athena. She's currently about 16 to 10. My value bets on the card, race 4 Gallic Princess 9 to 2. Race 3 Nachi 9 to 2. And race 9 African Adventure at 9 to 2. My exotics for the day, starting with my bipots. To start 4, 5, 9 and 13, by 4, 6 and 9, by 2 and 13, by 4, 6, 7, 8, 9 and 16, by 1 a banker, by 10, 11 and 14. My place accumulator for the day, 4, 6, 9, by 2 and 13, by 4, 6, 7, 8, 9 and 16, by 1 a banker, by 10, 11, 14, by 9 a banker, by 8, 9 and 10. My pick 6 for the day. The pick 6 pool is going to reach around 20 million rand, so we want to catch a share. You can always include horses to my pick 6 and take a smaller percentage, but these are my numbers. 2, 13, 14, 15, by 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 12, 13 and 16, by 1 a banker, by 3, 10, 11, 14, 16, 19, and 20, by 1 and 9, by 2, 3, 4, 6, 8, 9, 10, and 12. Then on to my quartets for the day. Starting in race 4, floating bankers 2 and 13 with the field. Race 7, floating bankers 11 and 14 with the field. Race 9, 2 quartets. First one, floating bankers 8 and 9 with the field, and second one, floating bankers 8 and 10 with the field. Then I just want to mention that my book will be available to purchase within the next couple of weeks. It's called The Punter's Bible, Be a Winner, Not a Gambler. It helps remove all the luck and guesswork out of the equation. It also lists all the other factors to consider when reading a race card. You can also use it as a reference book when studying form. I believe that this book's not just for punters, but for trainers, owners, breeders, also will benefit from this book in some way.